Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we proudly present our spectacular show of podcast magic and imagination full of Disney wonder, news, and pop culture. It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast with Jenn Dave and David Dollar.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Dave.
It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast. Episode 225 with the Main Street Electrical Podcast. And we are very thankfully not in the wake of hurricane, but we can't say the same for all of our friends and families and such down in Central Florida.
Yes.
Of course, Hurricane Helene has come through North Carolina last week, and it's just a mess all over.
It's a mess.
And so, top of the show, Jen and I both want to say thoughts, prayers, love to you guys. We're recording this on a Wednesday, like typical. The episode comes out on Thursday, so if you're listening to this on release day, it is a Thursday. We'll talk about hurricane stuff, what's going on in just a minute. But hopefully, Milton has already come through. We're on the waning end of it. Hopefully that everything is minimal. Yeah. Hopefully we're hearing stories all morning of, okay, things aren't nearly as bad as they could have been. Right. We don't know. We're crossing our fingers.
We're hoping that that's the case. Yeah.
We'll get to that. Let's get something cheery. How did you Disney this week?
Oh gosh. That's actually a really good question. It's been a weird week, so I've done a lot of it. Right. I also literally stayed up till midnight to do some bibbity bobbity, and then woke back up at 6 a.m. for some more dining reservations. So
that's tough. That's only like a 5.5 hour turnaround for bedtime.
That's rough for me because I don't. That's not.
That's
how
like
I
a
roll.
rope drop at Disney World, and that's something
I don't do that.
Yeah,
I don't do that.
Tough,
but
tough,
I
tough.
did. I did for the love of my clients. That's
so
why.
well. This week has been very crazy for all of us.
Yeah.
Anybody who's a travel advisor has been crazy because, I had several clients this week, and 3 I was concentrating on because they were either leaving, we had to move trips, long haul times on the phone as expected. I think over a period between Sunday night, Monday, and Tuesday, and into Wednesday, I spent about 14 hours on the phone. And right. I want to say about 12 of that was on hold at various times. One was 5, and just you put the headset on. At one time, I think I sent you a Marco Polo. I went to the chiropractor. I was actually in Publix with the headset on. I met with a client while I was on hold. Had the earpiece on, had the music going. Told the client I was talking to the family about their Disney World trip coming up in December. We met at Starbucks, and I'm like, you'll have to excuse me. The hold music is on. I've been on hold for 2.5 hours. If they pick up, I'm going to have to take 10 minutes. I'm so sorry. And they're like, it's okay. Met with them for the entire hour. Drove away, went to Walmart. Then, of course, they answered at Walmart. And I'm walking around with a buggy, and there's my kid walking with me. And I'm like, hey, so let's talk about tickets. So, and I will say this, that they've outsourced a lot of their operations from Central Florida to Disneyland. I talked to several cast members from Disneyland yesterday.
Yeah, they've had to so that they can prepare.
One great thing about Disney is they are safety and security of their guests and their cast members first and foremost, no matter what they have to close and do. So just a quick recap. It is Thursday morning when you guys are hearing this. Parks were closed all day or most of the day on Wednesday. Yeah. They will be closed all day today, Universal and Disney World. This is all fact dependent on what happens overnight, what has happened, what will be happening. So as you're hearing this, we don't have a clue, obviously, because we can't predict. We did hear that Disney, if everything is okay, they will try to reopen Disney Springs in the afternoon for limited offerings, probably a few restaurants here and there. Universal has said that depending on the outcome of the storm, that all their parks and everything will be open, normal operations on Friday. I'm thinking Disney, probably the same thing. They may open a little bit later. They've done that before. They open at 9 or 10 or something like that, Halloween party's been canceled for this evening. So if you have a Halloween party for October the 10th, you will be automatically refunded. Yes. I did work with ticketing to try to get some clients that had party tickets for tonight, for 10/10, to go to a party next week. It's sold out. So really it's a matter of just calling to find out, hey, do you have tickets available? Did somebody cancel maybe? Just crossing my fingers, hoping it'll work. We'll see. But it's crazy watching what's going on. We've got several of our Star agents down there, Kristen and Heather and Jessica and Emily and Donna, and we're crossing our fingers for all them. Kim's down there as well.
She's on the east coast of Florida, so fortunately, by the time it gets to her, it will have gone across the rest of the peninsula. I don't want to say fortunately, because Kristen's right there in Tampa. So it's we've got people in all parts of the state.
And we have 2 or 3 agents in the Carolinas that dealt with, not the straight impact, but have dealt with some of the
They've dealt with some of the fallout.
Fallout of Helene. And so we're just like, Everybody stay safe.
Yeah.
Everybody stay safe. So, real quick, if you are, and we talked about this a few weeks ago, on kind of hurricane preparedness, not realizing, not even thinking about the fact that 2 weeks later we would actually be in the midst of a hurricane at Disney World. If you are there, or if you have to call, maybe you didn't use a travel advisor, which, by the way, my clients used a travel advisor. They used me, so therefore they're living their lives and going about their day in Colorado and California and Tennessee, and here I am on the phone. If you call in, be patient. Cast members have dealt with people all day, and I will tell you that I talked to one cast member, and they were like, "How are you today?" And I said, my response was, "I'm doing great. The real question is, how are you?" Because I know you've had a crazy day, and I could just hear her going, it's been, I can almost hear her like, "Thank you for asking." Like, literally, seriously, thank you for asking me that question. So we chatted about it for a minute, whatever.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm just trying to make everybody happy and whatever I can do. And so just be patient.
And especially the ones in Florida, like they're also having to prepare their families.
Yeah.
And they're having to hurricane proof their houses and worry about, especially if they're on the coast or something, or have family on the coast. And I know one of our favorite transportation companies, the owner has a mother right in the line, and she was, so we're, thoughts and prayers are definitely with all of our friends.
A lot of the small businesses around the area, the stroller companies, the transportation companies, a lot of them are very small businesses. They are run by small staff of people. And, we've gotten various emails. Hey, we're not taking any reservations for these days, or we're working on moving these reservations around, because they want to be safe too. But like you said, they're in the area. They want to make sure their people are taken care of as well. So
they have to.
So it's, I am, me being on hold, I can complain about it, be like, "Oh my gosh, I was on hold for so long." You know what? I was in my car driving around. It's a sunny day. I was at Publix buying some groceries, paying for it with my credit card. My kids here, we're all happy and healthy.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It is, it's my job, and it's nothing. So there is some of that. But Jen, there's not a whole lot of news, but I will say, I know you're in mourning too, that the McQueen Racing Academy is closed. Be closed on October 7th. Kind of overshadowed by all the other news, but it closed.
It's a shame.
I posted about it, and I actually had two different people tell me I didn't realize that was even there. So, well, it's funny because I went back to get pictures from it because I'd been once or twice to get pictures from it to post. I didn't go until I went the third day was open. Second day was open, which was April the 1st of 2019. It opened up March 31st of 2019.
It was there that long?
I haven't I haven't been there since then. I didn't realize it had been there that long. I was thinking this is after COVID thing. It opened 2 years ago.
That's what I thought.
No, it's been open 5 years. 5 years. So it is officially closed, completely overshadowed by all the weather and all the crazy news going on. So it's closed now for good. They're going to open up the Villains show there. People listening to this going, "Wait, where is that again?" Walking towards, if you walked to a Rock and Roller Coaster previously, as of 5 years ago, you couldn't keep going. Well, 5 years later, you could. Now you can't because they're blocking it off. And so, which there's land back there. So there is land back there. They can do stuff back there. So I'm wondering if they're going to build some areas back there where you can just walk right on through. And I don't know.
Well, who knows? Maybe.
Maybe that's where the Monsters Inc. will go, because that'd be great, and that way Muppets would not be touched because.
But we said, but Launch Bay could be up for.
That's true. Monsters. Do the Launch Bay over there. Why not put Star Wars there and a Star Tours and why not? Rethink Tower of Terror to Launch Bay, make it a Death Star.
No,
thing. Sure, why not?
Hey, don't touch Tower. Don't touch Tower.
So the other big news that came out this week, aside from the weather, the Cake Bake Shop has opened.
Yes.
And
we've been joking about it.
We have been joking about it because it has raised some eyebrows on the pricing, because, so the Boardwalk, and I've been joking about this for 3 years because I feel like it's been closed for 3 years. ESPN Zone was there at the Boardwalk, right there by the Boardwalk Hotel and, and Yacht and Beach Club and the whole area, Epcot area. So they closed the ESPN Zone, which was a great way to watch a football game. I've been there once or twice. It was fine. They closed it down. They're going to rebuild the bakery. So they're building the Cake Bake shop and the Cake Bake Bakery, which the bakery is more pastry to go, things like that.
Right, like counter.
The shop is actually, it's gonna be a table service.
Like table service,
breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, desserts, cocktails. All of it, right?
All the things.
So they opened up the menu, and this thing has been closed forever. We're making jokes. It's almost like a Titanic joke of it's been 84 years. I mean, just it's and it's like Universal has literally built a theme park. for Disney to build a keep.
I mean, I just wonder how that ESPN zone was inside. What took so much?
I don't know. I don't know if which leads me to wonder if ESPN is on their way out of with Disney, but that's a whole other conversation.
Well, that's a different conversation.
But the surprising thing though was the menu that was released, because I think this is what everybody's looking at going, okay, Disney. All right, and we'll get to the
right.
That in a minute. But some of the things that popped up for breakfast: an egg sandwich will set you back $23, a classic egg Benedict $34. If you want a soda to go with that, like a Coke, Sprite, whatever, Dr. Pepper, that is going to be $8. Children's waffle is $18. Children's PB&J is $18. Let's go. We can talk about dinner. They have a charcuterie board for $72. In case you want to get some fine meats and cheeses, which really needs to come with an annual pass under it. You can buy a turkey sandwich for $23. French onion soup, a bowl of that for $20. Crab cakes for $52. There's a classic burger and fries for $32. So the menu is kind of like, people are kind of like this going, oh, well, how about that? Jen, I want to get your thoughts on, before we kind of dive into it a little bit more, but your thoughts on when you saw the menu. I know you were like, I'd pay $12 for a croissant. I would not, but you would.
I totally would. But I'd pay $6 for a cookie, not a problem.
On the menu pricing, and would you pay $23 for a mimosa for your morning?
Probably. So I think, first of all, Cake Bake is not a Disney entity. Cake Bake is, and it is a bakery. It is all around. There are multiple locations around the U.S. Okay. I actually pulled up their website to see what some of them were. Like there's one in Akron, Ohio, not that far from me. I did not know that was there.
Zip over there.
I know, right? I should. The pricing on their website is, I mean, I'm not exact, but in line. Like a cake, $115, absolutely. And these do look like beautiful cakes, like a lot of artistry, and I appreciate that takes a long time. Amaret, I'm in my head, like kind of Amaret's, like kind of similar in my head. I think this one's obviously much, much larger and has a sit down option for food. I think that because this is kind of a bougie big deal right now. This shop, that's why people are wanting to come. It's like the big thing. Like Gideon's was the big thing for cookies. There are people who are like, I'm not paying $12 for a cookie.
Right.
I do. It's like a half a pound cookie. It's delicious.
It is a big cookie.
It's a big cookie. Yeah. That's like 2 or 3 sittings for me. But all that to say, it's kind of the hot ticket right now. So, and Disney's not setting these prices. These are Cake Bake's prices. So like, don't yell at Disney for it.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is that people are looking at this going, Disney, are you out of your mind? And I posted about this too, because I had no idea. Looking at the prices, because I'm thinking, Disney, are you out of your mind on some of this? But it may not be Disney setting the prices. Cake Bake is the franchise, and they come in, they pay the franchise, whatever, how that works. It's like when McDonald's comes on property, Disney doesn't own McDonald's, they just allow McDonald's to be there. I don't know that McDonald's.
I don't know how this one's working.
But if it's more expensive, McDonald's chooses how they want to price things.
But I will also say this: most likely, like the ingredients they're using are, responsibly sourced, etc. And usually, a bakery like this, it's different than going to your local Walmart bakery.
Right.
No shade on a Walmart bakery. Listen, they have some good cookies. So
Walmart bakery. It's okay.
It's okay.
All-Star David does not go to Walmart bakery.
Okay, thank you. I was really trying. I was trying.
It's okay. Nothing wrong with Walmart bakery. I know people that do go to Walmart bakeries, but it's not.
Publix bakery.
I have other options.
Publix bakery is better.
God has blessed our family with just enough to be able to go to Publix bakery to get a cake or some cookies. So
well, listen, we got your Publix is our Giant Eagle. Eagle birthday cakes. Quite delicious. So I've got no problem going there for a birthday cake. But that said, if you want the experience, I think it would probably be a beautiful presentation and very Instagrammable. And if that's your thing, and if you got the budget for it, like, listen, I will go and I will try it. Like, I mean, a burger and fries for $30. I've probably paid that before. So like, that wouldn't bother me. But I'm probably going for breakfast. It's a bakery. Like, I need breakfast.
I would try some breakfast there. I would not try, however, the granola and yogurt with mixed berries for $26.
No, I would not pay that.
I feel as if, I don't know if they're allowing you to pick your own berries, or if you got
I draw a line
there where they have people out there picking berries for you. I'm not really sure, but that's a lot. I will say this. The problem is, and it's an optics thing, at Disney, all parks suffer from this sometimes. Once the word gets out that, holy crap, this is overpriced, people are like, well, I'm not going there. So now it makes me worried before it even opens that's now going to be the sentiment of, I'm not going there. Did you hear they have $45 burgers? That's the thing. This is a place that I probably would try for breakfast and get something like a $10 banana orange nut bread, and that may be it. It just makes me wonder how this is going to do, because this is beyond Disney pricing.
But I've seen these prices in other vacation locations for a breakfast location.
Well, sure.
So if I'm wanting that experience, I don't have a problem going to try it. Is it going to be my every morning breakfast? No, I'll go over to Riviera and get my banana bread.
Right.
Oh my gosh, because it's delicious.
But it just makes me wonder because I think we've all done the same thing. I know you've done it. I've done it, where you walk up, you look at a restaurant, and maybe there's a walk-in available. You glance at the menu and you look over going, okay, what would we get here if we got, okay, that looks really good. Okay, can we do this? There's like 4 of us. We can do that. Versus walk to the cake bake and go, if the first thing you see is a $26 granola, you're like, look at that. Oh, let's walk on down to the bakery or walk on down to the boardwalk, whatever, and see what they got. So that's what makes me worried. And no shade on the cake bake. This is their pricing. It is what it is, and I'm sure it's delicious. And maybe in December we can all kind of go in there and get something out of the bakery to whatever, to try it. It just makes me wonder how this is going to do perception wise. And are people going to look at that menu and walk off, or are people going to say, you know what, let's try it. We don't have to get.
If you're at the boardwalk, I think the placement is important. Like, you're at the boardwalk, so probably you've got boardwalk yacht. That whole area right there. I'm hopeful that it will do okay. I mean, and that it'll survive, because I really don't want it to be under construction again. Let me be very honest. Amorette's, and for comparison, Amorette's is about the same price now. They don't have a restaurant. Okay. But the bakery, we're in line price wise with Amorette's, maybe a little more expensive than Amorette's.
What's funny,
and that's still there. So
this conversation is so indicative of a Jenn Novotny Grand Floridian and a David Dollar Pop Century conversation. And I will say that I talked to a client yesterday who's ready to book their trip. They're booking at Coronado Springs. But when we talked about resorts, he actually said, I don't want to price out a Jenn Novotny resort. I want to get a David Dollar resort. Meaning he's like, value, maybe moderate, so we went to Coronado Springs or whatever, which was really, really funny. Which, by the way, I have lots of Jenn Novotny clients. So, people love the Polynesian contemporary. This is funny. That's now how we are presented on the podcast. And I'm okay with it. I'm quite all right with it.
Oh, the meme you posted the other day with Tiger Woods versus, I don't know.
John Daly
John Daly.
Probably see, it's an old meme where you got Tiger Woods dressed up in the really nice suit, and John Daly smoking the cig in the pink pants with a flowery shirt, leaning on his golf club, and it's like Jenn, Grand Floridian, and All Star Sports, and that's exactly what we are. So, with the K-Bait conversation, I thought it would be fun to kind of talk a little bit about some stuff at Disney. Now, we don't want to go into the negative and be like, oh my gosh, this is too much money, don't pay for this. But we thought it would be good to say, you know what? If you're okay with spending the money, here are some experiences, some things you can purchase, food-wise, product-wise, things like that. That, if you want to spend it, they're great. Versus if you are on a budget, here's some things that are somewhat similar, kind of sort of maybe, that might be kind of some of the same thing. Maybe not, the value is not as great, but still it's good. So one of the things that we first talked about was the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. And Jenn, you mentioned some of the dresses and stuff that we had. So give us your thoughts on the boutique.
Right. So for some people, this is their coup de grace, so to speak. Like, they just cannot wait to bring their little girl to Disney and all of the things. They want the full experience. I think it's called, is it the castle package? I think it's called the castle package. Where it's the hair, the shimmering makeup, the nails, and all the things. And then you go pick out the dress, and you get all the accessories. Listen, the package itself, I mean, it actually, I'm not going to quote it because I haven't looked at it in a couple months and I don't know if it's changed. It's on the pricier side. Okay. I'm just going to say in the neighborhood of $200. Okay. Give or take. Don't quote me exactly on that.
Right.
Well, for some people that is absolutely worth it. But what if maybe you just don't have that budget? Okay. And that's okay. But you still want your little girl to have all the things. You could get now there's the courtyard package, which has a tutu, right? And a t-shirt. And then the other one, the lead-in package.
There's just one that is like hair and makeup. And
crown package. I think it's called the crown package.
Like that.
And it is the hair, nails, makeup, shimmering makeup. You still get the glitter and the fairy godmother.
Right.
But you can bring your own dress. And most little girls, let's be real. Most little girls probably have princess dresses galore, maybe from like Christmas or dress up or, whatever, Halloween. You can absolutely bring your own dress. have her change into it at the boutique, and then it's like suddenly this special occasion, this special moment, and it's less because you already have the dress, or maybe you made the dress, or maybe something like that, and you still have that amazing experience, but it's a more budget friendly price. And you don't have to pick up front. You can just book Bibbidi Bobbidi, and when you show up that day, you say, I want this one.
And that's a good point too, because people ask me about the different packages and they say, well, we want this package. And I'm like, you don't have to decide right now. You can decide when you get there what you want to do.
Exactly.
And it might be good to have like a full episode on the boutique, because we could bring on our friend Jessica and some other people who have kids who have done the boutique, the full on experience. But you're right, bring your own dress. If you do bring your own dress, rent a locker. Rent a locker, keep it in there, because especially in the summer months, those dresses can get hot. Little Princess is like, oh, I'm sweating. And you're like, we brought you the dress. It's 10 a.m., whatever. Maybe do the boutique right before Cinderella's Royal Table if you can book it. That way you get all your pictures. After the breakfast is over, change out of the dress, whatever. Because mom's got the pictures. Princess felt like a princess for a little while. So yeah,
and just have a change of clothes is really a good point.
Oh yeah, do that too.
Just have a change of clothes for them.
Now, do they still do the free glitter? If you walk up, they'll just put the glitter in your hair.
I believe so. Okay. I have not seen
that's
that.
That's a free thing. That. You can walk up and just ask for glitter, and they'll just sprinkle glitter in your hair or whatever. And so
keep in mind you're gonna have glitter everywhere.
True. Well, that's not my problem, but. Honestly, I think even as an adult, can you do that? Like dads can.
I've done it. I've absolutely.
So not me. I'm good. My kids doesn't worry about glitter, so we're all good there. Let's talk also about the lightsabers over in over in Star
that's a good
Wars
one.
In Star Tours, because there are two great options for this. Now, have you built a lightsaber? Have you done one yet?
Yes, in Galaxy's Edge, I have.
So, and this is the more expensive one and everything. And so, just briefly, a 1 or 2 sentence pitch.
Yeah.
What do you do with a lightsaber? You reserve it and everything, but like what lightsaber, building a lightsaber, what is that?
Oh, so I mean, it's a whole I'm going to use air quotes. It's like a ceremony. So you pick which of the 4 themes you want. You walk in, they have the saber master person that I can't remember the name of, who guides the ceremony.
Where's the I Am Geek guys? Come on, where's the
like, dude, they're cringing right now. Like, I'm sorry, guys, I can't remember what his name is. Anyway, they give you all of the pieces and like you choose which hilt. Like it's still under like if you have the peace or the justice or whichever one, and you get to put it together because there are different options, so you can put it together in different ways. And then at the end, like basically it gets activated at the same time. Everybody just like lifts up the lightsaber and it's super cool. It's a great ceremony. If you are a Star Wars fan, it looks so
you get the carrying case, the official like hard carrying case to put it in.
Well, it's a soft
case, yeah. It's in a small room, so everybody's in there together. So it is kind of a cool. It's not just the saber, but the experience. I mean, you're building a lightsaber with everybody else. As we mentioned briefly just now, but our friend Ryan over I Am Geek actually makes his own kyber crystals, so you can buy those extra to put them in the hilt or whatever.
And you can buy extras at Disney too. Yes. I mean, but
that does roll in around $220, something like that. You have to have a reservation, so it's
I think it's
$220, something like that. So it is a little bit pricey. If you're like,
and you have to prepay now.
Yeah, you do prepay. I want to saber.
You do prepay.
I don't want to pay for that. Star Tours as the exit. They have to build your own saber. It's not nearly as official. Nope. And I don't want to use the word quality, but the ingredients are more plasticky and they're not quite as official. But you those lightsabers, you walk into Walmart and you kind of flick it, and it opens up or whatever. The cheap one. The Walmart says space sword is what they say because they don't want to use Star Wars as a trademark. But you can build your own, either single side or double side. You can actually select your hilt, select your color, put it together. I want to say it's like $35, which is really it's really not much of anything. And you walk through. It's a much smaller ceremony, obviously, but you walk through the different phases of building your saber, and then you have a lightsaber you can walk around with, and it's collapsible into the hilt versus having a very long saber to walk around with. So there is some of that.
Yeah.
So you can definitely do some of that. Dining, you are a V&A girl all the way around.
Yeah, I am. I love it. And not that I go all that often. I mean, we joke about it, but I don't go that often because it is, I mean, it's not cheap. But if you have a special occasion, yes, I mean, go by all means. It is one of the most amazing meals. And now it has a Michelin star. The food melts in your mouth, the presentation, the service, like just it, even to the after dinner coffee, they have this like crazy contraption that like does this drip coffee. And you're just like, I'm David, you would freak out over this coffee.
Oh, I'm sure I would. I would freak out at the bill too. I mean,
I will try to find, I gotta find my video of it because it was just amazing.
Well, the best thing to do, Jen, is to send me down there to experience it on the agency dime, and I can get content. That's the best thing to do. If
or I could just go again and get more content.
I mean, we both could go, I guess, and make it a podcast thing. We could podcast from the chef's table.
And I'm sure that would not disrupt anybody.
I think Disney would love that. They would love that content from. It would be great. It'd be wonderful. I'll just call Josh, set that up.
So, yeah. But so I do think that's an amazing. I mean, it's like a 9-course meal. Like, guys, you're here for like 3 hours. Okay, if you're doing this. You are in this to win it. And for me, for Brady, that's one of our favorite things to do is to go have a gastronomic experience somewhere. Okay. Like we love that. That is our thing. So, but listen, that's not always feasible or doable. If you still want a great experience, great food, I will give you one of my favorites, and that is Flying Fish. It has,
yes.
I actually think it has one of the best steaks on property. And they will say that they're like, oh, we're better than Yachtsman. Okay. If you're listening from Yachtsman, sorry, you got to take it up with your friends at Flying Fish. But I get the potato crusted, what is it? Red snapper. I know that sounds weird. That's like their signature dish. And I can't not get it. Because I will be mad that I don't like something else. Okay, I could get the steak. I can get the steak or the red snapper. That's what I've got to get. They have this pork belly. And I'm telling you what, if you take your time there. Now, is it still pricey? Yeah, it's more pricey than going to like the Plaza or,
Well, it's also a signature meal. It's 2 credits on the dining plan.
It's 2 credits. So, but let me tell you what, if you're going to a character meal, no shade on character meals, you are going to you could, for an entree, spend the same price or less than you're going to pay for that character meal.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I agree. Now, now, once you include appetizers or desserts or whatever, like, it might be a little bit different, but you get the point. Like, you're not going to spend nearly as much as Victoria and Albert's, but you're going to spend a good amount. So,
right.
You're going to spend more than the Plaza, but you're still going to save money overall. So, nice option.
I would say if you want a good steak too, and you don't want to spend as much, Steakhouse 71 over at Contemporary is fantastic. It's got great breakfast. They've got great lunch and dinner. We did Thanksgiving dinner there a couple of years ago. And it was wonderful. So Steakhouse 71 is an option. Yeah. As far as character meals go, a lot of them are going to price out around $45 to $50 per person. So it's not really like this is a cheap one. But I will say Tusker House Animal Kingdom typically tends to be a great meal with a variety of food.
That's
and it's
a good
not
one.
Too expensive. It's really not that expensive. You have Mickey, you have Donald in a safari outfit, you have Goofy, and I think Daisy is there. So they run around.
Daisy is typically there. Yeah, it's Daisy.
Yes.
I've seen Minnie instead of Daisy like maybe once, but typically it's Daisy.
And it's one that you can get, I don't want to say easily, but it is one that pops up the day or two after it's open for people. So it's not like sold out immediately. So Tusker House is an option for a character meal. So just something to consider there. Let's talk real quick, maybe some souvenirs and things like that. More high end and more low end. Ears is something we've talked about. So let's talk about the ears.
Yes.
Designer ears versus just regular ears. Jen, why should we get designer ears?
Well, I mean, sometimes you just want to be bougie. I don't know. There were some really cute Dooney ears a while back that I wanted. And then like there's some Kate Spade ears. So I was like, oh. There were some Coach ears that looked amazing. So if you are a fan of a brand, like, it's like the cross collabs, like you just want to pay attention to those and get those. But those tend to be more like $60, $70. The one was like, they were like encrusted with rhinestones and whatnot.
Like $3,000 or $4,000 for some of those. I mean, like the expensive ones.
Well, one was like 600, but then there was like a $3,000 or $4,000 one. That was
I mean, you have it. You can probably show it off, right?
Oh, I don't have that one. But you can also just get your regular sequin, super cute mini ears. Like, why not? There's, for like $35. Sometimes you can find pairs for $25 now, not usually the sequin ones.
Right.
So, but they're like super adorable. And now like the hot thing is, what's the one in Disney Springs where you make your own headbands?
Oh,
little
headbands with the bubbles, characters on top.
Character. I can't remember what it's called.
I know what you're talking about them. So, which is actually not that pricey because you pay for the headband and each little character is like $10. So yes, you could spend $50 or $60 on it, or just spend $30 by having like, there's Mickey and Minnie, or I want to put 4 or 5 on top of my head or whatever, and you can mix and match. And I don't ever look down at anybody that spends money on ears because They're something you get only there. They're made for
Right.
Disney. They're official Disney ears. And yes, you can go to Target, you can go to Walmart, you can go to Party City, you can buy ears.
Yeah.
They're not great quality. They're just not, because I've actually bought a couple for parties and for like birthday parties, things like that. And they're thin, they're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that every single ear that Disney sells, you look at, but some of them can be
Costco or Sam's Club, I think, had like licensed ones that were a little bit different. Now, I didn't buy them, so I don't know if they were comfortable or uncomfortable. But I mean, sometimes even the regular ones from the parks, I have like approved ears and then just ears for display because some of them are like be on the head.
Yeah, stuff like that too. She has a small head, and there are some that even hurts her head. But we don't. I mean, we buy souvenirs and things like that. But instead of buying a shirt, if you want to buy ears, it's okay, because a shirt's going to cost you $30, 25 minimum, versus the ears that are 30, 35, and they're so creative. There's so many different kinds and things like that. So I think the ears are a good value.
Absolutely.
Action figures, collectible figures. We also discussed the ones over at Avatar, which I've never done, but they're kind of cool.
I've watched them be done. I have not done it. I mean, full disclosure, but you can bake yourself into an avatar like they do, like a Navi. Yes. Like they do like the scan, and like you actually have to wait for it for like an hour while they process and digitize and do whatever their 3D printing thing is. But yeah, like you can do that. And when I looked at it, and don't hold me to this price, you're probably going to be close to $100. Maybe it's more than that now. I'm like basing this on opening day in 2017, but that is something that people really like. But I know that there are some other options that I didn't.
Unique. It's very cool.
Very, very unique.
Yeah.
So cool. And if you are a Avatar fan, like, I mean, oh my gosh, like that's going to be a great souvenir for you.
Right.
But maybe you're like, well, that would be cool, but I know you said there's one in Lego that I had no idea.
Yes,
I didn't
you
even
can
know that
do your own customizable Lego figure for like $12 or $13. You can pick your own little figure or whatever, and it's pretty cool. I mean, they don't go to the whole 3D printing of your face or stuff like that, but you can customize a figure to you and to your sensibilities or whatever, which is like $12 or $13. To kind of wrap up, because I know we're kind of running out of time here. Jen, are there any like more pricey experiences or products or things like that off the top of your mind? You're like, you know what? If you can okay with paying the money, this is worth it.
Actually, I just wanted to circle back to one we talked about. So we talked about cake, bake, and amarettes, but we didn't talk about the alternatives, because there are some great bakeries in Disney.
Yes, there are.
So maybe you want something delicious. Listen, La Patisserie in La Boulangerie in Paris in France.
Yes.
It's under the Eiffel Tower. Yes, back there. All the way straight back. Now, not by Remy's. They're gonna go back the other way. Go through the gift shop. Amazing croissants, gâteau. You've got various pastry sandwiches, croissant sandwiches, like baguettes with like a full sandwich. Everything is delicious, and it is, I mean, a fraction of the price of the other ones. I will gladly go there all the time. Also, going to shout out the banana bread at Riviera. Because, oh my gosh, I don't know. $6 for a loaf of banana bread, and I am in heaven. So good.
Yeah, and I will say this about the creperie: you can get out of there for fairly cheap.
Oh, the creperie, that's a good one too.
The creperie is fantastic, and it's kind of a hidden gem, because a lot of people, I've walked into it so many times, just walked up and they're like, "Come on in."
Yeah.
They have an outside counter, but they also have an inside restaurant. You can probably get another $20 or $25, and that's a full meal of crepes and different kinds of crepes and dessert crepes, whatever. You can share crepes because they're very large, so they're huge. Definitely something to look at. Collectibles, press pennies are great.
Oh, that's a good idea.
For a couple of bucks, you can get you can get books with different press pennies. They have machines all over.
Now they don't accept quarters anymore. Is that correct?
No, they don't. Now you either use your credit card or put dollars in, and they do it for you. They provide the penny and everything else. It used to be you put in 51 cents and they would do it. Now they just do it for you. So there is that. The popcorn buckets, yes, they can be pricey. I'm looking now at the Figment one, which is like 30, and the Mr. Toad's was like 28.
But it's Toad.
But your standard popcorn bucket, which is the regular bucket, it's about $12 or $13, something like that. Yeah. Get it refilled.
It's not a specialty one,
$225, $250. regular popcorn.
$2.50 now, maybe.
Yeah, $2.50 across property, which is great. So you buy a popcorn bucket,
and you can bring it back
and bring it back exactly. And so it's a great deal for popcorn. I send a lot of my clients popcorn buckets. I'm like, here you go, have some popcorn, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Autographs, you can get most things autographed.
Most things,
shirts. You can get
picture
frames, things like that.
What are the borders for picture frames?
Yes, we have. When they used to do Vinylmations, we actually have a full Vinylmation figure. We got all the characters to sign it.
That's cute.
So it's got like 40 character signatures on it, which is really cool. Now, some of the characters do stamps, like Buzz Lightyear can't really sign, but so it's harder on that. So
I would say try to avoid fabric as much as possible. I mean, t-shirts can work, but fabric is a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, well, and I've seen people put like the hoops on there, like the sewing hoops to kind of keep it taut.
Oh, to kind of keep it.
I just feel like that's a lot to keep up with when you're
That's a lot. Yeah, like if you can do something else.
And finally, one thing that's something that I know families do this every time they go. We do it every couple of years. We try to do it every year, then we kind of forgot. Over at Disney Springs is the Christmas shop. You can get personalized ornaments, and you can get like the Novotny family 2024, the Dollar family 24, whatever. And it's really nice script, really nice handwriting. Pretty. You can get it mailed to your house. Yep. So if it's like, you know what, I can't carry this thing around because it is fragile.
It is fragile.
It's from Italian. It can be very, very, very fragile. Get it mailed to your house. We've never had it broken at our house when it mailed to us because they really packed that thing in there. But it's like $30 maybe for an ornament.
Ye Old Christmas Shop in Magic Kingdom. You can do the same thing. Yep. It's not as large of a selection, but you can still do it there as well.
Yep. So
that's a really good option.
Too, so. Yep.
And you know what? The ears, we were talking about personalized ears. They will do the ear hats with your embroidery on the back. If you go to the shop right on the right, when you get it's
where the confectionery is,
but it's over to the right. Yep. You can also do that as a personalized. And I don't know that one's over. I think that's
it's one of those exclusive souvenirs you're only going to get at Disney World. I mean, you could go to some embroidery shop in your hometown and get it embroidered, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. Because when you get an ear hat like that, you're only going to wear it there. You're not going to take it home and then bring it back with you. That's not something you're going to pack and be like, I gotta pack my embroidered ears to wear at the park. No, you wear it when you're there. It's just and same thing with the first haircut ears. Take it over and get it embroidered, or get it embroidered there, whatever. You can order those and stuff. So anyway, good list of stuff to spend money on, stuff to save money on, because it's Disney. It's Disney pricing. It is what it is. Go to the cake bake. Don't go to the cake bake. That is up to you entirely.
There's lots of other options.
Lots of other options. And I know Disney's expensive, but it doesn't have to be that expensive to bring.
No, it can be manageable.
I tell people it's as expensive as you want to make it. After you get past the ticketing and the resort, you pay the price to go. It can be as expensive as you make.
There's a lot of ways to save money. There's a lot of ways to spend money. So which way do you want to go?
And there's a lot of ways to find Jenn online. Jenn, where can we find you online? See, that's called a connection. Good. That's called
nicely
done.
A teaser. Yes. Good job, David Dollar.
You're welcome.
All right. Out upon a star Jenn, or my personal Instagram is @Jenn_Novotny.
Perfect. Find me at the Magic on a Dollar on Instagram. Find me at Magic on a Dollar and Disney on a Dollar on Facebook. Also, our two sort of kind of co-hosts that we're going to come back very, very soon to talk about Eat to the Beat and the Disneyland Festival and the Halloween party. Find our good friend Kyla at Disney Geek 27 on Instagram. And of course, Heather is our quasi producer, aka at the Moana Mom on Instagram as well. So definitely find her. And of course, the MSA podcast on all the places, Upon a Star Travel on all the places. Jenn, good list, good discussion. Let's go and cross our fingers and hope that nothing happens with the hurricane. Yes, we're here. So for Jenn, I'm Dave, Main Street Electrical Podcast. Let's go and thank the Phoenicians.
Thank you for listening to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at the MSE Podcast, or visit our website at themsepodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe, and may all your wishes come true.